I wonder, how would you describe your mindset? Are you the sort of person who likes to figure out how things work or likes to learn and change? Psychology expert Dr. Jo Lukens is joining you and me now to share more about developing a learning mindset. I asked her, what is a learning mindset?
So a learning mindset is a really helpful way for us to work our way and navigate through life. So we know it's a combination of how we think and the attitudes that we have, and it even reflects in the behaviours and the things that we do that make us more conducive to learning and growth. So when we have a learning mindset, it means that we're open to changing how we might think. We understand that every expert was once a beginner, so by default, we don't know everything. And so we're open to going through the changes that go when we're trying to learn something. So when we understand how to learn effectively and being an intentional learner, then we set ourselves up then for having a broader knowledge base. And generally, we see people are more successful who have a learning mindset as well.
Why is that learning mindset so important?
Because I think our environment's changed so much and the opportunities that we present to ourselves. So if we're open to new ways of thinking and continuously seeking knowledge, if we've got that curiosity, then we know that people who have a learning mindset, as I was saying before, they're better able to navigate the challenges and seize those opportunities. And it also means we're more resilient. So if I don't have a learning mindset, then it means that I think that I'm always right. So then I'm going to come unstuck when very clearly I'm not always right.
Okay, I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to take that any further, Doctor. How can we train ourselves to make that learning mindset a habit?
I think what the first thing is to be aware that the thing exists. And if you've ever caught yourself saying, I can't, or I don't, or I wasn't good at maths at school, or I'm never going to be good at writing or reading, I'm never a good reader, then you're probably not going to pick a book up. So one of the things that you can do to broaden your learning mindset is actually make it intentional. But you might decide that every day that you're going to read an article on an area that you're interested in, or you might listen to a podcast that you're curious about, or something that will teach you something new. And it can be as quick as doing something for 10, 15 minutes, and maybe you can make it really convenient for yourself. And if you've got the dual skills of being able to drive and listen at the same time, you could listen to something in the car. So you can make it easy for yourself. You could do puzzles in the morning or whatever it is, but actually making a conscious effort to introduce something new for yourself that you may not necessarily be aware of is a really great way to broaden your learning mindset.
Very interesting. So you're also adding to your knowledge bank, but I guess you'll be creating new pathways and things like that in your brain as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You might remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about the influence of music on our lives, and we even talked about listening to music you don't typically listen to. Now, sometimes that can grate on us a little bit, but what it does is it challenges the neural pathways. It's not so familiar. It sparks up our interest. So we know that when you have a learning mindset, I used the word before, curiosity becomes a really critical part of it. And we know that curiosity really does set us up for learning new behaviours. It makes us more successful. It makes us more interesting as people as well.
Yeah. There's lots of cool podcasts and books and things that you can listen to that could, like you said, when you're driving along, I like to listen to lots of weird and different things so that I can go, oh, I like that, or I don't like that. Or
Absolutely. And if there's one, I remember, I can't remember what it was called, but we've listened to one on a family holiday one time. It was all about how things work. How does a roller coaster work, and how does a rocket fly through space, and all sorts of things that we wouldn't necessarily go searching for, but we came across it and it sparked conversations and so forth. So we know that's really helpful for us when we're exposing ourselves, like you say, to different podcasts and learnings.
Yeah. How can our thoughts and feelings influence our learning mindset?
It's absolutely critical. So the way that you think matters, and because the way that you think actually generates the feelings that you have. Most of our behaviours come off the back of how we feel. We feel like doing something or we don't feel like doing something. We don't often say, I don't think like doing that. It's whether or not we feel like it. So we know that the first step to building a learning mindset is being aware of what you're telling yourself. So like I was saying before, I can't do that, I won't be any good at it. That kind of fixed mindset is not consistent with a learning mindset. So maybe being brave enough to challenge that can be useful. And once you've identified that's the way you're thinking, then it can become a little bit easier to shift that particular style of thinking.
That is psychology expert Dr. Jo Lukens there, sharing with us how to develop our learning mindset. Interesting conversation and interesting thoughts. Maybe you can have a think for yourself there of how that may feel for you.